Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. I think that's Corey on that side. I'll get it right at some point. Corey, how you doing today?
Do you not watch any of our videos?
I do, but then it gets all
flip-flops on you?
It flippity flop when we do the whole Skype thing.
Make an L with your fingers.
You're over there. I'm almost positive you're over my left shoulder.
Worked already.
There you go. Yeah, this is Kiss the Reviews. Corey, Armando. This week, we are doing, I don't even know what it's called anymore. Armageddon? Armageddon. Can we do another movie? Just a movie off of memory? Because I don't really want to talk about.
I wish, and this movie is really proof that in the 90s, I was maybe the dumbest friggin' person that has ever lived, because I actually like this movie a lot.
This movie proves to me that everybody that lived through any portion of the 90s would just buy into any bullshit that you threw out on a movie screen if there was a lot of budget behind it.
Yes.
So
very true.
There you go. That's our review of Armageddon.
See you guys next week.
But before we get into the IMDb and all that wonderful stuff, we have our first sponsor, do we not?
We do. Kind of big news and notes.
Right.
Our first sponsor this week's episode is brought to you by Darcy Sears Ultra Stick Whipped Cream. Are you attempting to seduce your high school's new starting quarterback to escape your sad, economically depressed small town? Look no further than Darcy Sears Ultra Stick Whipped Cream. Other store-bought whipped creams are great for eating, sure. But when you need whipped cream to 100% stick to your breasts and beef, you know where to go. Darcy Sears Ultra Stick Whipped Cream is available online now while supplies last. Warning, Darcy Sears Ultra Stick Whipped Cream is not edible in any way. Avoid contact with any and all orifices. Avoid use if you do not have a full and healthy bush. Apply to bush only. Labia contact can be deadly. Darcy Sears Ultra Stick Whipped Cream, because you don't love Lance.
Oh,
exciting day having a sponsor.
It's good times.
Yes, sir.
Good times. I love it. All right. Well, let's get into the IMDb info on Armageddon, 1997 movie.
Don't think 1998.
Oh, 1998. That's right.
Yes, sir. I had that wrong pretty much all week, but it was 1998. Yeah, and by the way, before I get started with the IMDb description, I would like to point out that I now recognize the racket you have set up where I'm doing all of the talking. I had to read that long-ass commercial from our sponsor. Now I got to read this IMDb description.
Okay.
Is this what you and Lou do on Gas Up the Pacer? You just kind of like, hey, Lou, look. And he just has to talk for an hour and a half?
That's literally what I do as the host. I go, this is what we're doing. What say you?
Armando DiBernardo, 2020. Anyway,
I delegate. If you'd like me to do it, I could do it.
No, I am honored
and
privileged to be working here. Armageddon, 1998. 151 minutes of pure shit. After discovering that an asteroid the size of Texas is going to impact Earth in less than a month, NASA recruits a misfit team of deep core drillers to save the planet.
All right. I'm going to go with NASA, another arm of the United States government that is not good at their job, decides to hire a bunch of douchebags and shoot them into space as they try not to fuck things up.
Sounds about right.
There you go. All right. Well, let's
about right.
Let's get into the whole story of this. An asteroid. I mean, the first. I'm glad that they hired. Was that Charlton Heston in the beginning? In the little.
Well, was he holding a rifle?
No.
Because then no, it wasn't.
No, doesn't he do like the? Isn't there like in the land before time there were dinosaurs and the little fucking.
Oh, the extinction event narration.
Yes.
I believe. If not, it was somebody doing one hell of an impersonation. Frank Caliendo was on the scene earlier than we thought.
So you have that just to let you know what an asteroid would do if it crashed into the Earth. Sweet.
Yeah.
Then you have mini asteroids crashing into New York City because, as we all know, asteroids pick big cities to land in and not the ocean or the desert or,
Yep.
you know, anywhere that's uninhabitable.
Yes.
So it's New York City. It hits first.
And magically explodes a spaceship in space, the
Yes.
space shuttle.
Yes, because there are explosions in space.
Yes.
And then NASA decides that they have to find, they figure out that they have, 18 days, and that the only way to do this and to destroy the asteroid before it kills everybody on Earth is they have to drill a hole into the asteroid and drop a nuke in it.
Correct.
And they can't teach a crew of astronauts who are super smart to drill. So they have to teach a crew of roughnecks how to astronaut.
Correct. And again, this was all because Bruce Willis said so, who is the head of the Roughnecks.
Bruce Willis.
He owns an oil rigging company.
Bruce Willis also said that drilling is a science and an art.
Yes.
So I don't trust anything that Bruce Willis says in this movie.
No, because the narcissism you have to display to say, hey, those astronauts, who, by the way, like 9/10 of astronauts are also, again, military members, theme on this show, are not good enough.
Yes.
To push the drill button at a certain speed and understanding geology. Basic asteroid geology, which is basically iron.
Yeah, because they'll blow out a transmission, which the Roughnecks did on the asteroid.
Yep.
Okay. Just
correct.
Clarifying.
And do multiple times.
Yes. And Bruce Willis, also one of the worst characters of all time, because he takes his daughter, Liv Tyler, and basically she grows up on an oil rig.
Yes. And she travels from oil rig to oil rig with this same crew.
Yes. Of horny men.
So much so that pedophile playing Steve Buscemi, whose character's name is Rockhound, which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed when they actually go to the space shuttle, his name tag actually says Rockhound.
Oh,
you don't get, this isn't the XFL, bro. This is NASA. You're not getting your nickname put on your fucking name tag. But anyway, Rockhound basically is established very early as a pedophile because he's constantly, every time there's a siren anywhere near, he looks to the person next to him and says, I swear to God, she didn't tell me her age. But anyway, beside the point, he shows Liv Tyler how to use tampons.
Yes.
She makes sure to point that out very early.
And Bruce Willis doesn't seem entirely fazed by that.
No, because the pedophile says he bought them for her but didn't show her how to use them.
Yeah, there you go. Bruce Willis also shoots a fucking gun on an oil rig, which I'm assuming this is the same oil rig that the prison from Face Off is on.
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure of that, but they showed the long shot, and I just assumed that was the.
And he's doing this and having an argument about Liv Tyler's sex life, his daughter, in front of the overly stereotyped Japanese businessmen that apparently like fronted the money, invested in him drilling in this spot for oil.
That, and here's the other thing. Bruce Willis said, when he was yelling at AJ, played by Ben Affleck, he yells
Supreme acting job, by the way.
Yes, he plays, or he says that, when you invest millions of dollars of your own money. So Bruce Willis, by all accounts, is a millionaire.
Yes.
Who did not send his daughter to a private school, instead decided to raise her on a series of oil rigs.
And is now very upset that she's sleeping with the best-looking oil rig guy that's available.
Yeah, and apparently is the best driller on his team, but now wants to kill him. It's cool.
Yes.
And
this is all like in the first 10 minutes.
Let's skip by this, because
Please.
That's ridiculous. What's, I guess, a little bit less ridiculous is they allow Bruce Willis, because this movie doesn't know whether it's a comedy or a drama, or like it kind of like goes back and forth, which a lot of times I appreciate in a movie.
Sure.
Like if a movie's too heavy, I like a little bit of levity. Like that's good. This movie, not so much, because it literally goes from full-fledged comedy to full-fledged drama.
And they're all seeming like, when they want to do the comedy bits, they're very happy just to forget that an asteroid the size of Texas is going to crash into Earth,
yes,
and literally kill everyone.
Yep. And so Bruce Willis convinces NASA they're sending 2 teams. One team is going to be comprised of basically astronauts. The other team is his crew, which they send them through psychological testing. And so it's easier, again, not to reiterate, but it's easier to train a bunch of guys who basically have no education outside of how to drill into the ground, how to astronaut, than to teach astronauts how to work a fucking drill.
Yep.
Okay, sure. They shoot them. Well, let's stop. They give them psychological testing, which apparently they don't care about, because Billy Bob Thornton's like, we don't need them psychological testing. Are they physically good enough to go? Like, he doesn't fucking care. Like, all I kept thinking of Billy Bob was that character through this whole movie. I don't know why.
Well, we're skipping just a hair ahead, because they go through. It's not like NASA's like, oh, we clearly have to drill in this asteroid.
Yes.
They're having a roundtable meeting with apparently the best brains that, and they keep saying Earth has to offer, but they make it very clear that
it's only the United States.
It's only Americans, and they are trying to keep this a secret as best they can.
What
they also want us to believe is that no one else had a space agency
yes.
or a telescope in 1998, because a wife-beating old crank son of a bitch sees it in his telescope.
Yes.
His base bitch telescope. He is by far a junior astronomer.
Well, you make it sound like he had a bunch of toilet paper rolls. This guy has basically a wing of NASA built in his backyard.
That's fair.
And he's like this hillbilly in a cornfield. Like,
who treats his wife just like, I mean, my God.
She wants a divorce.
But in this roundtable meeting that they're having, trying to figure out how to get the asteroid not to hit Earth, they start suggesting things like solar blankets to catch it. and then, rightfully so, Billy Bob says, can somebody get serious? We need real solutions. In fairness, that son of a bitch should have been fired. Like, how did you get into this room, janitor?
Exactly.
A fucking blanket to catch it. It's not a baby on a 5th-story window being tossed out.
What if we attach a bungee cord to it and tie it to the moon?
Right? What if we just get it drunk in Texas for a weekend? Introduce it to a couple leggy blondes. That'll have a good time. But somebody also suggests at this roundtable meeting that they fire nukes at it.
Yeah.
Now, this has been a real-world thing. This has always been discussed. Like, if an asteroid is really coming close, could we fire nukes and blow it off its trajectory?
Mm-hmm.
One of the men, and it may have been Billy Bob himself, said every single nuclear weapon on Earth could not move this thing off its trajectory. Okay? As of 2000, this movie was made in 1998.
Yes.
We have since dramatically decreased nuclear weapon arsenals across the world. So as of 2019, there are approximately 3,700 nuclear warheads and 13,890 total nuclear warheads in the world. So 3,700 active, 13,890 total warheads in the world. Yeah, that's going to knock it off its trajectory. Just to
you did some research.
That's
not what we do here.
I like science, and immediately I knew that was bullshit. That is the most. Yes, you solve 2 problems at once. You avoid the asteroid, and now nobody has any more nukes. We can go back to good old-fashioned war.
Yeah. So
the way the good Lord intended war to be.
They have the thing. Let's blow by all this because it deserves to be blown by. Um, they decide that the best thing is to drill holes and drop a nuke and explode the thing and yay rah. Bruce Willis and his crew, they go up. I'm gonna skip over our crew needs a day to decompress because they've been learning a lot and we're just stupid people and we need to have a day off.
We need to go get drunk because it's always been advised to be severely dehydrated.
Yes.
While it's going into space.
Yes. Listen. When I parachuted back in the day, they tell you to not drink any alcohol at least 12 hours before you jump.
Yes.
So they're gonna go out and get shit faced all night. Sure, I'll go ahead.
You're not supposed to eat 45 minutes before you go swimming. You're gonna get shit faced before you go in and pull like what was it, 12 G's?
Yeah, something like that. So and there's nothing I love more in a movie than a PG-13 strip club montage. Awesome. So flash forward, they go up in space, and then the fucking hilarity ensues, and all the hijinks. There's explosions, there's fires in space, there's all kinds of stuff that go against
the crazy Russian cosmonaut.
Yeah, they have to get fuel. That's another
fuel
great
line.
Yeah, so they have to get fuel. They're fueling up. You see the Russian, you talk about the stereotypical Russian cosmonaut who is basically hasn't had any alcohol but acts drunk the entire time. Cool.
Because for some reason, the international community thought it was a really dope idea to put one astronaut on an international space station for 18 months.
Yes.
He would never be able to sleep. You have to that's why you have a leaky fuel line.
Yes.
You're constantly checking shit.
The
insane.
The best part about this, and I'll get to it here in a minute, but when they fly away, the whole space station thing blows up, right? They fly away like they're in UFOs. Like, they're spaceships. They're NASA rockets. But they fly away like nothing NASA has ever built that I've ever seen before.
Oh, no. That was Mr. Sulu?
Yeah. So that was like, again, this goes back to making it convenient for the certain part of the movie. You could have written this so they get away and it explodes in the back. Like,
yes,
whatever. They get to
the damn. To stick the middle finger all the way up science's ass. I think is the point you're trying to make.
That's exactly it. They get on the asteroid. Everybody's crashy Bernie. They land on the asteroid. They don't know where Ben Affleck's ship is. They're apparently on the other side of the asteroid because they're awful.
Had one of the most horrific crashes.
Yes.
Ever.
And then why are these the little rovers? Why do they have machine guns on them? For unexplicable reasons, there are machine guns on these rovers. Cool.
And these are the same rovers that Bruce Willis sees when he's initially brought into NASA
and
to
they
train
take
the astronauts. And he starts, you don't need all this shit. Throw this off. Throw this. What do you have these hoses on here for? We don't need oxygen.
The machine gun's cool, though.
Yeah, machine gun. I need that. That's badass.
They use the machine gun to blast.
That's how they got Charlton Heston to sign on for the Air Force.
So they blast out of the thing with the machine gun, and it tears through it like it's tinfoil. Cool.
Yep.
And then they get to the Grand Canyon on the asteroid, which they decide they're going to fly across. And they're going to use the thrusters and that whole scene is dog shit. The whole scene. Because obviously they have problems, but they land it, 4-point landing. All tires hit, everything's cool. They crash into everything. They're floating off into space, but yet they get the thrusters in just in time because, crazy cosmonaut is outside doing some shit.
You don't need math and physics, kids. You just need a good eyeball idea of what it's going to take.
Exactly.
Math is dumb.
They get there and they screw time in this whole thing, and they can because there's no sunrise and sunset. So
Yep.
Apparently, they've been out there for 2 hours drilling, and they've gotten like 50 feet down.
Yep.
Okay,
Because they landed in the wrong spot, so
Yeah.
they're drilling into pure iron.
Yes.
Kids, another science lesson for you. If you ever want to identify what may or may not be an asteroid, if it has iron in it, it is largely composed of iron, there's a good chance it's an asteroid.
So,
FYI, unless it's the vibranium asteroid from Wakanda. The only two types.
There you go. So they finally, again, I'm not going to go through the whole. There's a windstorm on the asteroid. There's more explosions, and there's no oxygen.
The asteroid is making sound. It's growling as they drive through space.
It's like Backdraft. They gave the asteroid its own character. It's.
And then Bruce Willis, towards the end, spoiler alert, actually is having a conversation with the asteroid. Fight back all you want, you mean bitch. You know it doesn't have you didn't hurt its feelings.
And then
in no way did you alter what the asteroid's plan was.
We're getting towards the end of this horrible piece of shit, and I couldn't be happier.
Right.
In NASA, they override the nukes, which beforehand they said if you blow the nuke, it's not going to go any superficial or surface explosion will not knock it off its course. But apparently the president's like, fuck science and fuck your math. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Yep.
And so they decide to put the timers on. They, figure out how to unarm that. But back at NASA, this sentence gets uttered. Sir, they've overridden the override. Okay.
Tell me that doesn't sound like it should be an airplane. You're overriding my override. We'll override that override.
This is Spaceballs, but a serious movie.
Oh yes, very dramatic.
So they override the override, which then gets overridden apparently, and then they go to ludicrous speed, and then the astronaut figures out how to disarm the bomb. Great. So he disarms the remote detonate. Yep. They draw straws. Apparently those wires they just didn't need on the ship. So
no, Bruce Willis said so.
Yes. So they draw wires, and AJ draws the smallest wire.
Spaceships notoriously known for their excess wires.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Parts that are just not necessary.
Not necessary.
We throw it in case you need to draw a straw to
exactly
stick around and detonate a nuke on an asteroid.
So they draw straws. AJ draws the shortest straw. He gets off the thing. Bruce Willis goes, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and do this totally unsafe thing and pull out your oxygen, and so you can go on, and I'll blow it up." Yeah, I'll kill Harry. No, don't. Okay, go eat animal crackers with my daughter. It's fucking fine. Whatever.
Dude, don't even get me started on the animal crackers.
I will never eat animal crackers again just because of this movie.
I might never eat anything again. That whole scene can just be described by one. I don't even know if it's a bird. Just that's that.
It was just creepy that Aerosmith does this basically this whole fucking the whole score for the movie, and every time Liv Tyler's like having sex with Ben Affleck, like her dad singing, like that's just creepy to me. But whatever.
Yeah.
So Bruce Willis stays, and apparently there's a fucking earthquake.
That scene was so bad. Okay. That scene was so bad. It made Liv Tyler's body look disgusting.
I'll tell you.
That's not easy. That's not something easily done, my friends.
Yes. No, it's not. Two things while they're on the asteroid. The earthquake on the asteroid, which forces.
It was an asteroid quake.
Yes. So which forces Bruce Willis to not detonate in the perfect, with some time left to spare, of course. And they keep saying, wait, Harry's got it. Harry's never failed at nothing.
Yeah. Believe me, he's going to do it.
That and the convenience. So you've had a cosmonaut that's been in space for 18 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
The convenience for Steve Buscemi all of a sudden has space dementia. But
Once again, this is Spaceballs.
But the minute they fly away from the asteroid, he's fine.
Rock solid.
What a horrible, horrible movie.
So bad. So bad. I have space dementia.
Space dementia makes
that
me...
quickly. He just goes, oh no, he's got space dementia. He's got space dementia.
So he's got space dementia, and then he's fine. And then they get back and they land, and the Will Patton's character,
who's the only one trying and has really a character arc of any kind.
Yes, which the movie should have been about him.
Oh, he was a far more like an actual human being?
Yes.
Like, I want to know what he did to piss his wife and kid off so bad.
Well, he's obviously got a gambling problem.
Gambling, schmambling.
But, you know, whatever. There could have been other things. I don't know because they never dove into that. So,
they didn't have time for that. They had to do an animal cracker scene.
Exactly. And they had to have strippers that don't strip. So they land, and the ex-wife who hates his guts, who won't let him see his son, all of a sudden, like, he's an astronaut and a hero. Go see your daddy. She called him. He was like, who's that man? He's just a salesman.
Just a salesman.
Now that's your daddy. Because he's an astronaut. Maybe we'll get some cash out of this, son.
Well, and the worst part is the ex-wife hugs him too.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. You're letting the son go see his dad. You're acknowledging that shit. Fine.
Yeah, but she hugs him and gives him a little
late,
kiss.
But fine.
Yeah.
But then, she walks in and hugs him. Like, oh, okay.
And again,
he's no longer a gambler.
All on the landing strip.
Yep.
Like, they allow them all on the landing strip.
Yes.
Liv Tyler, because obviously they let her stay for the whole thing in the NASA,
Well, it's important to watch your father and fiance die.
Absolutely. According to NASA, it is. So,
yes.
And then
you sit here and you watch this.
Steve Buscemi's character lands with everybody.
Yep.
And they allow the strippers,
Mighty
Mouse or whatever her name is, onto the landing strip.
Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby. I love you. I miss you, baby.
You know what?
So bad.
I could close my eyes and never see this movie again. Fuck this movie. I'm done. I'm done with this movie. I can't believe I loved this movie when it came out.
I'm actually mad at myself. And the thing that really pissed me off was I'm watching it, and I remember being moved, not to tears, but moved when Bruce Willis was saying goodbye to Liv Tyler before he detonates himself. I remember like watching that in '98, even as early as like 2002, whatever. And just being like, man, that's like really like good shit. That's a deep speech. It's good monologue back and forth. Sincere. Holy God, was I wrong. Oh my God.
Can we be done with this?
Please, as soon as possible. As soon as possible.
Let's go over the details. IMDb 6.7. I don't. There's not enough negative stars to give this for me. I give it a 0.1.
I would like to see and I think this is how America should start to weigh itself. Like, are we on the rise? Are we on the decline? How we rate certain movies.
Agreed.
And so IMDb is obviously, it's part of the World Wide Web. So you can't really necessarily just say, well, like, oh, America's on the decline. Armageddon's a 6.7. So I'd like to see the American version of this. Because by and large, I live in America. I don't care about the rest of you. I want to see how America rates this movie to know where I need to kind of position myself in the country to be isolated if necessary, because it's terrifying. And I agree with you, 0.0.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and I will let you know how Americans rate this. It's a 4.7 out of 5 on Amazon.
Oh, I was like all excited at first.
I just looked it up. I wanted to give you some faith in humanity, but no. No.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's face it, Amazon is basically what the American public thinks of this movie.
Pretty much.
So.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care about your politics, your religion, your color, creed, sex. I don't care about any of that. If you actually call me and like, hey man, Armageddon was a good movie, you guys are doing it wrong, I don't really need anything to do with you ever again. We're cool.
I'll never talk to you again.
You go your way, I'll go mine.
Hey,
and we're good. You can watch Superstation because I'm sure it's on every Sunday, and I'll do my thing.
I've cut friends off for less. So, yeah, I will totally. If you like Armageddon, you can never talk to me again. I'll be okay with that.
Take a short walk off a long way. Take a long walk off a short pier.
All right. On that note, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews. That crap was Armageddon, and we'll never watch it again. Does it hold up the test of time? No. All right. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.